Valley Talk on News Talk 1580 KGAL.
And a very good morning. How you doing today, Dave Adams? It is Monday, the 13th. I'm in a very, very good mood today, and let me tell you why. I got married Friday, and Emerson Smoker, we're going to talk about his name here a little bit. Emerson Smoker, glad you're with us on Valley Talk today.
I'm glad to be here, Dave.
Put the microphone a little bit closer to your mouth.
That's exciting news.
So
exciting.
We went to Vail, Oregon. Yeah.
Yeah. Where is that?
That's
Dave?
Way over on the east side of the state. Married Justice of the Peace married us. My beautiful bride, Norma. Now Norma Adams. Norma, if you're listening, I love you. And so we went over there because my folks are there. It was Mother's Day.
Oh, good idea. Good.
So my mom and dad were witnesses. When you do that civil ceremony, man, they run you in there. It's like a cattle call. There was 5 couples getting married, and we were the first ones. I don't know if it's because we were Adams or what. But then, oh, by the way, this, and I told my wife, I said, this is going to happen. The clerk over there grabbed me and she said, there's a news story here that I want you to work on. It's something about voter registration. We're going to be talking about that later on in shows to come. Anyway, so we got kind of sidetracked into a news story over there. I said, dear, this is just how it works. That's the nature of the beast. That's kind of what you're marrying into, and she's okay with that. Thank God. So we had a good time. But anyway, the ceremony is, he said, well, we're going to do a run-through on this. And I thought he was practicing. He was doing the real deal. And it took I think 3.5 minutes.
Oh, boy, that was a long one.
And I almost didn't have a chance to take a picture. So, anyway, so.
Well, congratulations.
It's
Dave and Norma. Congratulations.
So, thank you very much.
Yes.
Anyway, so it's a beautiful day in the neighborhood today.
It is.
Glad you're with us on Valley Talk. We do want to remind you that we, as always, give away a $10 gift certificate for Quiznos Taste on Us. Great sandwiches right next to Novak's Restaurant and across the parking lot from the former G.I. Joe Sporting Goods location in Albany. Submit your entries to dave@kgal.com or call the station at 451-KGAL, 926-KGAL. At the end of the show, we're going to give away a $10 gift certificate, hopefully to you, for Quiznos Taste on Us. Another thing that we want to talk to you about before we talk to Emerson about a number of things, including Albany Helping Hands, is Honor Flight One Last Mission. It's thanks to Jay Bertram's Metals. They are underwriting the cost, the licensing cost to play this documentary in Albany and Lebanon. It's coming up May 18th, which is this Saturday afternoon, 1 p.m. at the Pix Theater in Ontario. Honor Flight is a program where we fly World War II veterans to Washington, D.C. at no cost to the veteran, so they can see the World War II memorial and that the nation can pay honor to these veterans. They're called the world's greatest generation. It was the largest armed conflict on the planet. They saved this nation and the world from tyranny from the Axis powers. That's why they're called the world's greatest generation, because if they hadn't stepped up, and some of them didn't come back. Some of them came back with some scars. And some of the worst scars are scars you can't see. But anyway, Honor Flight is a program where it flies these World War II veterans back to D.C. to see the National World War II Memorial. Time crunch here is that a lot of World War II veterans are mid-80s, mid-90s. We're losing more than 1,000 a day. So they're trying to get as many of them back there as fast as possible before they pass on. Honor Flight One Last Mission is a documentary that was filmed about 4 World War II veterans and what emotionally was like for them to go back to D.C., to touch the wall, to see what this was all about, and kind of have a catharsis, kind of reliving the memory, kind of going through, thinking of the buddies they left behind, thinking about these memories and just what the Honor Flight program means to them. Ticket prices are $10 each. 1 p.m. this Saturday at the Pix Theater in Albany, and then next Saturday, the 25th of May, 1 p.m. at the River Center in Lebanon. Because Bertram's Metals has underwritten the cost of showing the movie, every dime from ticket sales goes to send Willamette Valley World War II veterans back to Washington, D.C. on an honor flight. There's an honor flight hub in Eugene, which covers this area. If we sell out 200 seats at the PIX and 800 seats at the River Center, we can send 10 World War II veterans back to Washington, D.C. Question that my phone's been ringing a lot this weekend about this particular project. We don't pay, or Honor Flight does not pay for the wives, but it does pay for the veterans, all expense paid. And that would be lodging, transportation, everything. And it's for a weekend trip. Great program. If you want to find out about it, go to Google Honor Flight One Last Mission and watch the trailer. Great program. You can buy tickets at Bertram's Metals in Albany, the PIX Theater in Albany, and the Lebanon Area Chamber of Commerce. And please help us support Honor Flight and help us send World War II veterans from the Willamette Valley back to Washington, D.C. Emerson, are you a veteran?
No, I'm not. No.
But if you're a veteran and you're listening, thank you for the service to your country. It's very much appreciated. I've had a lot of phone calls from World War II veterans interested in going on an honor flight. So whenever you do a program like this, some of the World War II veterans says, well, I'd like to go on an honor flight. And if you have any questions about that, you can call my cell. If you call it now, you get voicemail, of course. 541-280-8833, 541-280-8833. Thank you for supporting Honor Flight. Emerson Smoker of Riteway Electric. I've often wondered, now, have you ever thought of changing your name? It's one, having an electrician with the last name Smoker. You've obviously heard been the ribbing of several jokes in the past.
Well, it hasn't been all that bad. However, when I started Riteway Electric, it'll be 35 years next year, that long ago. When I started, I wanted to have my name in it. First thing went through my head was Smoker Electric, and I thought, no, that's an oxymoron. That will not work. So I threw that one out. Then I thought, well, I'd like to have Emerson Electric. Well, that's already taken. That's a national. And I tried it. As naive as I was back then, I tried it, and I said, no, that's taken. You can't have that. So then I thought, well, I wanted to do, because I wanted to do something that kind of said what we stand for and what I believe in, integrity, and do it right and all that. And I got to thinking, I want to choose the name Riteway Electric because as a Christian, I wanted the word to say, or the name to mean that we're going to do it right.
Right.
And, we've made mistakes, but we'll correct them and do it right. And when we walk away from a client or a customer's place of business or house or whatever, we want them to know that we did it right. And that's kind of cool because our employees, it's all over our trucks, it's all over everything. And when they go to do a job, they know that they're expected to do it right. And over the years, it's made a big difference, I believe.
How long have you been doing this?
Well,
Riteway Electric.
Riteway Electric's it'll be 35 years next year.
Congratulations.
Yeah, well, thank you.
You're doing something right.
Well, evidently, I've told people the last while, I say, hey, Emerson, how are things going? I said, well, by the grace of God, we're still here. And he gets the credit for this. I'm just a worker bee in his kingdom. So anyway, that's how that name came. But yeah, the Smoker name was not the one to go with.
Emerson Smoker, electrician. You've got to be kidding. I had an broadcast engineer friend of mine. He had this joke. He said, Dave, all electronic devices in existence run on smoke. I said, okay. How do you figure that? He says, because when you let the smoke out, they quit working. We'll be here all week, folks.
That could happen, I guess.
So, Emerson, thank you for being with us on Valley Talk
It's good
today.
to be here. Thank you.
35 years.
Yep. And what really, all the statistics are, I think they say within, 80% of businesses don't go beyond 5 years.
That's right. That's
so
scary.
It's a privilege to be able to say we've gone beyond that.
Okay. One of the things that we want to talk about is, now you won the Chamber of Commerce Award, and I'm glad you did. So that, in fact, I was at the event when they announced your name as a winner.
Oh, okay.
What the Albany Chamber of Commerce?
The Albany Chamber of Commerce
gives us away as a prize, where you get to come on the Valley Talk show and talk whatever you want to talk about when you win the prize. I'm glad you won, because it gives me a chance to visit with you. I've always wanted to visit with you about your philosophy and your business and so on.
Thank you.
One of the things you're active in is Albany Helping Hands.
Yes.
Why?
Well, I saw the opportunity to help people that struggled with helping themselves. In the beginning, I know that there was a lot of bad press and publicity and so on, and because people thought that, well, they're just giving a handout. Just continually handing out and enabling people to keep doing what they're doing. But I don't know how many years they were into it. I found out that they had a little farm out east of Coastal Farm, and I'd heard that they were gonna build a building for a produce stand. And we had been doing some work on and off for them, electrical work, and in their other projects. And I was so impressed with the farm aspect, because I thought, well, now they have the opportunity to not only just give out, but to help the people that are struggling, whatever. Bring them out to the farm, teach them some stuff, help them to work, plant seeds, pick tomatoes, pull weeds, hoe weeds, whatever. And so I said, well, I believe in what you've got going. So I told the board at that time, or one of the representatives, I said, whatever you do out here on the farm, Riteway will take care of the electrical. And we've done that. And I remember when they built the building, and it was pretty impressive. And now, and then in, I don't know, 2 or 3 years ago, they asked me to be on the board, so I consented. And some of my history is background. I was a farm boy from Pennsylvania. And back then, my grandfather used to raise chickens. And I remember going into the hen house and helping him get the eggs. And then he would sell them. He worked at a farmer's market. They'd sell the eggs. And as a young boy, then I had some chickens and raised them, had an egg route. And I just couldn't get that out of my blood. And so, being on the board, I've always thought about, now how can we create some streams of income for Helping Hands to help the cause? They have some, we have an auction fundraising dinner once a year, and another fundraiser, and they have the thrift store and the wood lot, which does very well. They sell Christmas trees. I thought, man, we got a farm out there, and of course they do produce as well. I thought, why don't we raise some chickens?
It's a great idea.
So I came to the board and brought that up, and I think I got some strange looks for a while, but I was so emphatic about it. They finally decided, well, let's give it a shot. So we're going to raise chickens out there, kind of a different concept, using what they call chicken tractors.
Chicken tractors. They don't drive the tractors, do they?
No, they're actually inside the tractor. It's a pen. It's a portable pen. We can put up to 60 birds in it, and it has an open bottom, and it's about 2 feet high, and about 10. These will be 10 by 12. The dimension, totally enclosed with wire fencing to keep the predators out and all this stuff. But it has an open bottom, so the chickens can actually be on the pasture. And they eat the grass, eat the bugs, scratch around like they're born to do.
Sure.
And then once a day you move, and then they fertilize as they do that. Okay.
Sure.
And then you move that track once a day. You move that tractor the pens are 12 feet long, so once a day you move that pen 12 feet. Now you get a new, fresh start, and they fertilize what they did the day before.
Give it and take it. They take the feed, and they say, here's a little something in return.
Yeah, and they say that about 30% of what they eat will be off the grass, and then you supplement the other. So they're what we will call pastured poultry. they're not totally fed off the range. But the one thing that I found is in doing research on this is that everybody wants to know where their food comes from.
Grocery store.
Yeah. Yeah, how does it get there? But anyway, so in the back of my mind, I thought this would be a real good fundraiser. Not only will we be able to sell meat from the farm, but our dream is that one day we'll be able to have have a barbecue on the farm where we've raised our own chickens, raised our own produce. Everything's put together they have a very nice kitchen at the shelter. The kitchen crew and everything will put put all the goods together, and it'll be our own chickens, our own produce, and everything. And for I don't know, $7 to $10 a plate, we'll have barbecue chicken. So we're going to do that this year, actually in September. We're going to have that. It's going to be at Timberland Park because we're not quite ready to have them come to the farm yet, but eventually that's what we want to do. So we think it'll be another way to raise money for the shelter to benefit those that need the extra boost and that type of thing. And hopefully from this, we'll be able to teach people how to work with chickens and animals and whatnot, and give them a hand up instead of a handout.
So
something like that.
This is a way to raise money for Albany Helping Hands.
Exactly. Raise money for Helping Hands and to help some of the guests learn some new skills and whatnot. So it's pretty exciting.
How can the public help you?
Well, some have already. Jenks Hatchery has stepped up, and they're going to furnish the chicks. Coastal Farm, Buzz Wheeler at Coastal Farm, I was telling him what we planned on doing. He said, Emerson, what do you need? I said, wow. I said, yeah, what do you need? Give me a list. So they're going to help with the supplies and the feeders and like wiring and stuff like that, or the chicken wire, and possibly feed. And the biggest help would be that when we have the barbecue, it's in September. I can't think of the date. I think it's the 14th of September. It'll be on a Saturday. Is the people come out and have a good meal, a barbecued chicken from the range.
Oh, that sounds good.
All the money will go, all the proceeds will go to Albany Helping Hands. And then in the meantime, we'll have a freezer out there at the fruit stand where they can reach in and pull out a couple of chickens that have been, and we'll process them right at the site, all right there on the farm, and they'll be able to buy fairly fresh. It'll be frozen, but be fairly fresh. So,
how soon are you to getting this going?
We are getting chicks next Tuesday, the 20th. I think it's the 21st. 21st is getting our first batch of chicks. We're going to start out with 120.
So you've decided to do it?
Yeah, we're doing it.
Okay.
It's in the hopper.
All right.
So it's kind of fun. They're already and here's the other thing. One of the guests from the Helping Hands, he's a carpenter, and they're already starting to build the brooder. They have a greenhouse out there, so I told him, I said, hey, I want part of this greenhouse for a brooder, so we're going to raise them in the greenhouse. They're fencing off a little portion there. We'll put 120 chicks in there, and they'll be in there for 3 weeks, and then after 3 weeks we move them out to the chicken tractors in the pasture, and they're out there for about 5 weeks, and then we bring the portable processor in, and away we go. So we'll be off and running.
I like the chicken tractor idea. Emerson Smoker here on Valley Talk of Riteway Electric. We're talking about Albany Helping Hands and the poultry project.
There you go. And it's amazing. We've been working on this, the one thing that I've seen in this community, being on different boards, Helping Hands in one and YMCA and some of the other ones, the community in Albany is absolutely incredible. And I mentioned that when I received the DSA award. I am so impressed with the heart of this community and how they want to help people and come together. A lot of the boards and different nonprofits, you would think they'd be competing, and they are in a sense, but I see the camaraderie and the collaboration of all these organizations coming together for one cause, and that's to help people that sometimes can't help themselves.
Yeah.
So it's a privilege to be a part of this, just one small piece, but it's exciting. It's exciting to see where God's going to take it.
Amen. Hey, we'll be back with Emerson Smoker here on Valley Talk in just a moment, so stay right with us.
The event to help you live well and age well. Returning to the Lynn County Fair and Expo Center, May 18th from 9 to 3. Great music, fun demonstrations, healthy screenings with experts to guide you along, and fun for the entire family. Free admission and lots of prizes. 50 and older, looking forward to a healthy future? You'll find the answers and resources to help you thrive at the Live Well and Age Well Expo, Saturday, May 18th. Lynn County Fair and Expo Center, presented by the Senior Services Foundation and Samaritan Health. For more information, go to agingwellexpo.org.
Now, for a limited time, save $20 on the complete transmission flush and get great savings, too, on a flush of your cooling system at Canega Tire Factory. While you're there, ask about rebates of up to $80 on trusted brands of tires from Hankook, Nokia, Cooper, and Goodyear. You've trusted Canega to keep you and your family on the road, and Canega services just get better and better. From tires to struts, brakes to free battery checks, even propane for your barbecue and RV. Still at the Y in Lebanon, the place to buy your tires and more is still Canega Tire Factory.
More Ink Printing in Albany. The same people and the same passion for printing and serving you.
I'm Mike from More Ink. At More Ink, we can make your presentations pop, your business cards connect, and your brochures become bold. Letterheads, manuals, menus, flyers, event posters, and programs. We do it all at More Ink.
Mike and his crew at More Ink are still around to get your custom projects noticed. More Ink on Sandy M Road in the Carriage House Plaza in Albany. Visit moreincalbany.com.
Call 541-928-2675 for More Ink.
It's the Saddle Butte Machine Gun Shoot, Saturday and Sunday, May 18th and 19th from 9 to 4 at the Albany Rifle and Pistol Club and Shed. Come on out and shoot machine guns, all calibers and sizes from 22 to 50. Mounted, shouldered, belt-fed, you name it. Pick the gun you want to shoot, buy the ammo, and blast away at water bottles, balloons, and cars. Admission is $10. Children under 12 and ARPC members get in free. Any questions? Call 541-491-3755. See you there.
Here's a rare opportunity to have your loved ones cared for where pets are welcome too. Welcome to Willamette Manor Assisted Living, where apartments are available now and Medicaid is accepted. Willamette Manor provides utilities, meals, and personal care of the highest quality, with a Christian environment and quality services to seniors and disabled persons since 1930. Welcome to your new home at Willamette Manor Assisted Living in Lebanon. Call 258-8178 or visit willamettemanor.org.
How would you rather spend your free time? Working in your yard or enjoying your yard? If you'd rather spend your free time having fun with family and friends in a beautifully landscaped yard, just call Doug Burton Landscaping. Much more than just lawn mowing, Doug Burton provides year-round complete landscaping service for your home or business. Call Doug Burton at 791-8758 or click on his link at kgal.com or kshow.net. Doug Burton Landscaping. Call 791-8758.
The news you need, smart talk, and just enough sports. That's what you'll get from News Talk 1580, KGAL.
Back here on Valley Talk, glad to have you with us today, and we are talking to Emerson Smoker, Riteway Electric, 35 years. Do you know what the date is, the anniversary date for Riteway?
I don't know the exact date, but it was May, as I recall. It was May.
A lot of changes in 35 years.
A lot of changes. Yeah, I never dreamt that. Well, it's kind of funny. I never dreamt that it would go this far. But it has, and as time progressed, I started as a one-man shop. I remember I bought a van and got in there, and I'd been in the industry probably 5 or 6 years before that. My heart was service, fixing people's problems. I just loved doing that. I go into some place, hey, I got this problem or whatever, and what can we do to help? And I'd go in there and fix their problem, and it was so neat to walk out at the end of the day or the end of the project and say, I made somebody's day. And so that was always, and that's always been our mantra or whatever, if you will, through the years, is that we still do that to this day, and our crew all have that heart. It's so neat. I'm still amazed today. I'll be in town or whatever, and somebody will wave to me across the parking lot, and I wave back and get in my vehicle or whatever. And next thing I know, this happened to me the other day. Next thing I knew, I had somebody tapping on the window. I rolled down my window, and of course I have Riteway Electric written on the side of my vehicle, and they said, "Are you with Riteway Electric?" And I said, "Yeah." And I'm thinking, "Oh, great! I'm about to be whatever." But they said, "No, hey, I want to tell you how great your crew was. Your guys came out and did whatever at my place, and they were professional. They treated me well." I had one fellow say, my wife was very paranoid about having people come into their house by herself. And he told me later, he said, "I just want to tell you, Emerson," he said, your crew put my wife so much at ease, and she felt so comfortable with them being in there. They took care of the problem. They were very professional and all that. And I've heard a lot of people talk about the integrity and stuff that we do. And so I've really tried to hold true to that over the years, and really it's paid off. And so it's neat to know that our people, our staff, our electricians and so on represent that. And anyway, it's a great thing to know that they do that. One of the other things that I really wasn't in a dream of mine or a vision or whatever, I guess, or a goal. But as time went on, I thought this would be kind of neat to pass this on to the next generation and maybe even beyond. And because I'd see other businesses around, friends of mine who owned their own businesses, and when maybe their son would step up or daughter or whatever, farmers, other business people that we worked with. And now I have the opportunity to pass it on to my youngest daughter and her husband, and they're actually running it now. I'm more of a figurehead, I guess, if you would say, still out in the public and the face of Riteway, but they're doing the day-to-day stuff, and it's so rewarding to see that, being able to pass it on. And then now I have a grandson that started out in the shop and showed so much promise.
Is he going into the business?
He's now an apprentice, studying to be an electrician, and so that's really exciting. Now we got 3 generations going on here. So
now
never dreamt that would happen.
How does that feel to look at possibly having your business continue on into this 3rd generation? It's got to feel good.
It does. It feels very good. I see a lot of other people. I've talked to other parents or whatever that say, my son or daughter wasn't interested in what I did, and when they retire, they close the doors and walk away. And it looks like this will continue on long after I'm gone, and that's very satisfying and gratifying to see that happen.
Yeah, I know my grandparents had a farm over in the Nissa area, and they wanted one of the grandkids to take up farming. None of the grandkids wanted to do it, and it broke their heart. That because it was one of those farms where G.W. Adams had come in and homesteaded it.
Oh, okay.
And so it had been in for 2 generations from settlers, from pioneers.
Wow.
And so they wanted it to go on in the family line, and it didn't. They sold it off and it stopped right there. And so that kind of broke their heart, I think.
It is. That's heartbreaking. But I tell people that, I built a foundation, but now the kids are coming along and they're going to build a skyscraper, and they're doing a great job. I'm really proud of them. They're doing fantastic. Way better than I did. But
well, at least you set the stage. Somebody's got to pour the foundation.
Right. That's right.
Somebody's got to keep the smoke in the
the
device.
Smoke. There's the smoke again. Yeah.
There you go. If people want to get involved with the Albany Helping Hands or the poultry production project, the Triple P, how do they do that?
Well, I think everybody knows. Well, we have quite a website. And here again, one of the guests that had a situation that he lost everything, wound up at the shelter, but a very talented man. And he's now the manager at the thrift store and doing a fantastic job. and had some computer talents and so on. Anyway, he developed a website, so they can go online, Albany Helping Hands. I think that's it, albanyhelpinghands.com. And I'm not sure if there's anything on there yet about the chickens, but at least they can get there through that, and we'll rest assured we will have information about the chicken, probably pictures and who knows what on that site. So that's going to be interesting. We're going to have to do it fast because we're getting chicks the 21st, and they'll be ready here.
They grow up fast.
They do.
Somebody's got to feed them.
That's right.
Somebody's got to move the fish tractor.
You got the chicken tractor
around.
You bet.
Might not work too good with fish, but anyway. Emerson, a pleasure talking to you today. Any parting thoughts?
Well, yes. Congratulations to you, Dave. I hope that your marriage will be a true success, and it sounds like you and your wife got some good things in store, and we'll be looking forward to hearing about that.
Yeah.
So, anyway, been good to be here and share some time with you.
Likewise. Looking forward to having you coming back again.
Okay.
And Valley Talk will continue in just a moment. Don't forget to sign up for Quiznos Taste on Us. Send me an email, dave@kgal.com, or call the station at 451-KGAL, 926-KGAL. In 23 minutes, we're going to be drawing a name out of the hat, and somebody is going to win a $10 gift certificate from Quiznos Albany location only. Thanks to Dale and the crew for being a part of the Valley Talk family, and to which the program will continue in just a moment. Glad you're with us today. Enjoy the sunshine.
The Osgood File, sponsored in part by Cassidy Turley. Discover clarity in commercial real estate services. Discover the value of market intelligence. Discover Cassidy Turley. This is Charles Osgood. Whether it's solo singing or a huge chorus, billions of little red-eyed insects called cicadas are performing in a spectacular new musical on the East Coast. More after this. They say that starting your own business is one of the toughest things anyone can do. Luckily, the folks at the UPS store have your back, because when you open your own UPS store location, you're not alone. See, with thousands of locations nationwide, you have the opportunity of joining a solid business network, a network that provides support for veterans, financial and real estate assistance, and promotional tools to help you get up and running. They also make sure that you're ready for business with training programs designed to help you develop the knowledge and skills you'll need to run your own store. So, doesn't it seem like a good idea to open your own small business with the UPS store? After all, you'll be part of Entrepreneur Magazine's #1 ranked postal and business services franchise, all while helping your local economy. Join the UPS store and be in business for yourself, not by yourself. Visit franchise.theupsstore.com for more information. One more time, that's franchise.theupsstore.com. Listen. That noise is one of the wonders of nature. It's caused by a swarm of 17-year cicadas. Every 17 years, the red-eyed flying insects seem to come back to life after having been underground eating tree roots and biding their time until, as if by magic, something tells them to get up and get going. Much of the East Coast comes alive with the sound of them buzzing and, well, looking for love so that they can make more cicadas. George Washington University biology professor John Lill is fascinated by them.
Each individual cicada spends most of its life plugged into the root system of canopy trees in the forests of the eastern United States. So they're basically just stealing food from the trees, serving as parasites on the roots.
Why 17-year cycles? Well, one theory is that it's a means of survival. Predators can't possibly eat all the bugs when they emerge en masse, so most of them will live long enough to continue the species.
They're actually a really important resource when they do come out for a lot of animals that are generalist feeders that will switch over and start feeding on the rather tasty and nutritious carcasses of the cicadas.
They don't really do any harm, except maybe to our eardrums. If you can't stand all that singing, hang on, it will end soon. Then, the next generation of cicadas will emerge after 17 years to pick up the songs just where their parents left off. The Osgood File. Charles Osgood on the CBS Radio Network.
When you look out across the Willamette Valley, you'll see plenty of banking choices. Willamette Community Bank is here to give you an option that's pretty unique, like no other, in fact. Hi, this is Sue Kalina, Relationship Manager. Willamette Community Bank provides an alternative to large national and regional banks by offering customized financial services and local decision-making to benefit local people, local families, and local businesses. How many banks can say that?
Willamette Community Bank, service like no other. Member FDIC, equal housing lender.
Welcome to Sears Auto Center, sir. This way to the parlor.
You mean the lobby?
No, so that's the foyer. Shall I ring the valet?
Nah, I already parked.
Right.
Butlers would make tire shopping fancy, but they wouldn't make it better. Better is Sears Auto Center, with online scheduling, extended hours, and top brands like Die Hard and the Mighty Road Handler. Buy 3, get 1 free on Goodyear Eagle GTs and up to $80 in mail-in rebate on eligible Goodyear tires. This is convenience. This is Sears Auto Center. Offer ends 5/18. Free tire of equal or lesser value. Rebate ends 6/1. Rebate ranges from $40 to $80. Installation required. See store for details.
Excuse me, sir.
Hi, what do you need?
Pants in a 44 waist?
Looking for something lace?
No, a 44 waist?
A shoelace?
I need a 44 waist.
We don't carry that size.
What? I want a prize?
No.
Stop shopping in no man's land. There's a better way for bigger men to find clothes. Now open. Visit DestinationXL.com to find a store near you. Destination XL. Big on being better.
Get tomorrow's news tonight. John Batchelor, Sunday through Friday nights on Smart Talk 1580.
I love live radio. Things just kind of happen in the background when you're not, when you listen to the commercials, which we do very much appreciate, and we're coordinating next guests and talking to people that want to buy advertising and all kinds of things that are happening here in the studio when we take a commercial break. It's kind of fun. And that's why we call it live radio, and that's why we have so much fun doing it, and that's why we're glad you're tuning in at Valley Talk today. Don't forget to sign up for a Quiznos Taste on Us. And another 18 minutes to go, and we'd like to have your name in the drawing. Dave at KGAL.com or 451-KGAL-926-KGAL. And we are now going to talk about, I believe, farmers markets.
Mm-hmm.
And we had a lot of visiting going on here in the studios today. Let me get your name.
Rebecca Landis with
Rebecca.
Corvallis Albany Farmers Markets, and I'm the immediate past president of the statewide association, which is called the Oregon Farmers Markets Association.
Farmers markets really getting popular these days, aren't they?
Yeah, it's been, to us it looks like a slow process, but for the rest of the world it looks like boom. There's a bunch of them everywhere you turn. There's I don't know, the USDA maybe counts 7,000 some in the United States.
Love farmers markets. There's such a meeting place, a gathering place. You meet your friends and neighbors just like you did back in the day.
Yeah, but in Albany, we've had one here since 1978, so it's kind of old news for Albany in a way, but reinterpreted with today's farmers.
Now, the farmers markets, there's one in Corvallis, one in Lebanon?
Yes, Michelle's here today with the Lebanon Downtown Farmers Market, and we also, in Lynn County, we have the Sweet Home Farmers Market, and there's a small farmers market also in Brownsville.
Now, you're all connected.
Well, we're connected informally. We're feeling that the more time that we work together, that we spend working together in the off-season, the better job we're going to do of serving our communities.
How do you connect? How do you tie these together?
Well, we started, Michelle, this winter we had a meeting. It was at the old United Methodist Church in Shed, which is now Green Willow Grains, and Michelle...
I got together all the market managers of the Lynn County farmers markets, and the whole idea being to get us all working together, sharing ideas, helping our farmers out as far as knowing what their opportunities are to be involved with the market, and also just to kind of, be a good community and work together and help grow our markets.
How long have we had the farmers markets in the 3 locations? You mentioned Albany has been here for quite a while.
1978 for Albany. The Corvallis market year starts the Wednesday market in Corvallis started in 1981, and the Corvallis Saturday market started in 91. And Michelle, we're on, what is this, year 5 for
Lebanon? 5
for
Lebanon.
And I'm sorry, I'm not remembering exactly how many years for Sweet Home in Brownsville, but more in line with where Lebanon is.
Right. Are these getting more popular locally and nationwide, and why?
Well, I think that people, I hate to say this, but I think that when we have food recalls on a national level, and sometimes we're talking about products from China that are implicated, people have started to think about, gee, it would really be nice to have more control over what I feed my family. And they look at the farmers market and see that their neighbors or people from neighboring counties are selling directly to them, and they know that they can ask them questions about the product, how it was grown. And they feel a sense of comfort from that. Not that we never make any mistakes in the United States, but when you're dealing with your neighbors, you know that farmer is selling you the same thing they're feeding their family and eating themselves, and that feels more comfortable to people, I think.
And then you're also keeping the guy down the road in business, which has got to feel good.
Yeah, you're keeping the money circulating in the community, and for Corvallis Albany farmers markets, we define a 6-county area that we take farmers from, and so that's Lynn and Benton, Marion, Polk, Lane, and Lincoln. And Michelle, what's the geographic region you're taking for Lebanon?
Oh, as far as where we're drawing farmers from? We're drawing farmers from Lynn County, and then also we've gone a little bit further than that. We do have some that come from Salem area, but not too
Jefferson.
much
Jefferson's just over the border into Marion.
That's right, Jefferson too.
Yeah, so we're really supporting our communities and keeping that money flowing in a relatively limited area, which is a good thing for the community.
One of the nice things about farmers markets is the nutrition value. Since the food is local food grown locally and brought in and sold, it's not processed, it's not sitting in a warehouse for 2 months. And it's simply better for you nutritionally.
Yeah, that's true. The longer you have between picking the food and eating the food, the more vitamins and minerals and so forth degrade. And so the faster you can get the food into people's homes, the better chance. Now, that doesn't mean I don't have a science experiment or two in my refrigerator right now. That happens some, but at least if your food will degrade and rot, that's a good thing. Because if it doesn't change over years, then that means there's something non-food-like about it.
One of the things I like about farmers, like a lot of things about farmers market, but the societal impacts are good too. One of the things that, as we look at the ills of society and people getting disconnected from their neighbors and so on and so forth, I think a big part of what we're going to do, I'm going to get on my soapbox here a little bit, to fix the country is to get to know one another again. And so often what's happened now in society is we've got disconnected. Mm-hmm. We've come somewhat hardened to the news of the day and so on and so forth. And the farmers market allows people to just get together and get to know one another once again. And basically, I'll just cut to the chase here. It's a lot harder to steal somebody from somebody that you like, somebody, your neighbor, than being disconnected. It connects society.
Yeah, I think that's true. We have very little issue with shoplifting at farmers markets, and the phenomenon of meeting your neighbors there. Sometimes you can live side by side with someone for a long time, and unless you both mow your lawn at the same time, you might not see them. But you might recognize them at the farmers market and stop and talk to them for 20 minutes in the middle of the aisle. And that's a good thing. We don't mind that at all. We think that's a great thing.
One of the things I've found over doing the farmers market for the last 4 years is it's been a really great place to just see a lot of people every week and get to visit and talk and just mingle and stuff. And it's been quite a popular event for downtown, and people are really looking forward to it just for that too.
Do you have a website, Facebook?
Yeah, I think pretty much every farmer's market has to do those things now. I've had a website since 1997. I had a board college student at my disposal that year, so I think I have the earliest in Oregon. But Lebanon Downtown Farmers Market has Facebook first, and then it just got a website up, right?
Yeah, our website is the LebanonDowntownFarmersMarket.org, all spelled out. And so we've got a really nice looking website now that just got up a couple weeks ago.
One of the things that I did before I came to Albany was I covered city council beat in Bend, Oregon, and covered a lot of city council, a lot of planning issues. And in some of the bigger cities, they're looking at developing trading sectors within a city where people can walk and get to know one another. And one of the things that in a lot of city municipal planning they're doing is trying to keep people out of cars and getting them walking, getting them healthier. And then in a lot of city plans, they're putting a farmer's market section in the city core to create this familial feeling in a community to, in other words, design in a city community. And one of the tools they use is a farmer's market meeting gathering place.
Well, the market in Corvallis was part of the riverfront redesign. It was deliberately part of that. In Albany, we're using an existing public place, the City Hall parking lot, in the street in front of one of the two beautiful courthouse blocks in Albany, right off of the highway. The Lebanon location is very visible. It's
right at the corner of Grant and Main, right in the middle of downtown, so you can't miss it.
Yeah, and that's best for the market, and I think it's also good for the community. The Sweet Home Market is on the highway. It's actually in a grocery store parking lot, and the Riteway supports having the market there, and that says something. And Brownsville, it's in a pretty visible location, it's a small town, but they have a downtown core, and it's in it.
Interesting. We're talking about farmers markets with Rebecca and Michelle here on Valley Talk, and we're going to take a short break, and we'll be back in just a moment.
Going out to lunch at a nice restaurant can be expensive, and the big portions put you more in the mood for a nap than a productive afternoon. Mama's Fine Italian to the rescue. The small appetite senior menu is just right. Anyone and everyone is invited to order from the Light Appetites menu for lunch from 11 to 4 p.m. with tasty entrees beginning at only $4.95. Why go hungry or go anywhere else for lunch? Eat healthy, eat light at Mama's. Closed Sunday and Monday, so make the most of Tuesday through Friday and join your friends at Mama's for lunch. Dinner only on Saturday. Mama's features charbroiled steaks every day. Make reservations for dinner or pick up a bottle of fine wine. Seating is limited, so please call for reservations. 541-451-5050. That's 451-5050. Mama's Fine Italian and Wine Shop on West Oak between Main and 2nd in Lebanon, across from the Big Blue Napa Auto Parts Building.
This is Rich Aber, Service Manager at Power Buick GMC, and I'm here to tell you that not only is Power Buick GMC the #1 local dealership to purchase a new or used vehicle, we are your General Motors service headquarters. Our GM-trained and ASE-certified technicians service Buick, Cadillac, Chevrolet, GMC, Hummer, Pontiac, Oldsmobile, and Saturn vehicles. In or out of warranty. Extended warranties, no problem. Cars not GM built, no problem.
Call Power today at 541-757-1415 on the corner of 5th and Buchanan in Corvallis.
I'd like you to pause just for a moment and consider the health of your best friends. You see, Paws Animal Hospital is now open in Lebanon. Dr. Johnson and her staff love animals, and you'll feel that love from the first time you meet them. Paws Animal Hospital uses the latest technology. From in-house blood screening to digital radiography, you'll have confidence in the treatment of your pet. To call for an appointment or to learn more, call 541-570-1022. 570-1022 for Paws Animal Hospital.
The Corvallis OSU Symphony Orchestra performs the final concert of their 107th season, Tuesday night, May 21st, 7:30 at the LaSalle Stewart Center. There's no need to travel to hear the finest in classical music. For over a century, the Corvallis OSU Symphony has provided quality performances right here in the Valley. This year's final performance will feature Symphony No. 5 by Gustav Mahler. Considered to be one of the monuments of classical music, it was a declaration of love to the woman he would soon marry. Marlon Carlson will direct. Tickets are available in advance at Grace Winds Music and Grassroots Books and Music in Corvallis. Also available online at cosusymphony.org. If you haven't attended a performance this season, if you've never been, come enjoy the Corvallis OSU Symphony season finale. Tuesday night, May 21st, 7:30 at the LaSalle Stewart Center on the OSU campus.
Jim Bohannon, weeknights on News Talk 1580, KGAL.
And welcome back to Valley Talk. Glad to have you with us today. Rebecca Landis and Michelle. Michelle, what is your last
Michelle
name?
Morford.
Michelle Morford with Farmers Markets here. Glad that you are with us on Valley Talk today. Glad you are with us. We're talking about farmers markets, and we just have hot off the press here the guide, 2013 Guide to Oregon's Farmers Markets.
This is put out by the Oregon Farmers Markets Association, and it's almost online. I think we're going to do a few repairs on the website to get that up there.
Okay. Are you going to put that on the website?
Yeah, in some form. We're right now, I think all we have is the 2012 version. Another place you can find farmers markets on the web, though, for right now is the Oregon Farm Explorer at OSU. They have this website called the Oregon Farm Explorer, and it has a farmer's market finder in there. And I provide the data to them, and I include some of those other little markets that are not members of our association. But it's really hard to keep up with all that. We do our best, though.
Notice the farmers markets are more popular in some areas of the states than some areas of the state of Oregon than others. For example, you find more in the valley than you do in eastern Oregon. I kind of miss those roadside stands and the farmers markets when I go to the other side of the state.
Well, I think there are some, but it's a lot harder to grow things outside the Willamette Valley and the Portland metro area, and so that's part of what we're looking at. And many of the farms in those areas are large commercial commodity farms that are not, can't switch gears and become small farm direct marketing things. But it's possible, we're seeing a lot more markets. You'll see that this brochure has a section for Eastern Oregon, a section for the Gorge, a section for Southern Oregon. We're seeing a lot more of that kind of activity, and it's even possible that a large farmer could say to their son or daughter, niece or nephew, "Here's a few acres on the corner of this field that you've been itching to do something with. Have at it."
Interesting. Michelle, would you like to add some comments? We've got about 4 minutes to go in the show, so I want to make sure we cover everything.
Well, definitely something we want to do is also let everyone know when the farmers market seasons are, what days, times, and all that. That would be a good way to kind of finish it up. But
sure.
So Lebanon Farmers Market, which is in its 5th year, is actually starting on May 23rd. It's a Thursday market. It's the only Thursday market that I'm aware of, so it's really nice for giving another opportunity for the farmers to be involved with. It's from 2 to 6 every week, and it goes till October 24th, so it's 23 weeks. And then the Sweet Home Farmers Market is starting up on June 1st, and that one's from 10 to 2, and that's on Saturdays. So those are the two, and then Rebecca can fill you in about the Corvallis and Albany ones.
We have been going since April 20th in both Corvallis and Albany. We even run our midweek market the whole season all the way to the day before Thanksgiving, and that is just, in terms of what markets normally do, that's just plain crazy, but we do it anyway because we want to support our farmers and get as much of this good stuff going on as we can. I think the Brownsville market's going to start also in June, and they're a Saturday market as well. So the great thing about Lebanon being on Thursday is that a farmer could do one of these other markets and do the Lebanon market if they have enough product.
Right, which really benefits us in Lebanon because Lebanon's a very small town in relation to Corvallis or Salem or the other towns that are around. So it gives another opportunity for vendors that generally might be at big cities to come to us. So the farm products that you're growing also won't just stop growing for you during the week. You can't go out and yell at them and tell them to slow down. So it's a good thing that there are midweek markets, even though they're smaller. Even our Corvallis Wednesday market, for example, is much smaller than our Saturday market, but it still helps the farmers and the customers who can't come on Saturday as well. And it's just good in general to have more than just Saturday available for farmers market.
Are you noticing the sales or any way to keep track of the interest or the produce that goes through there? Are you noticing an increase in popularity?
Well, generally farmers markets do not, we don't own the food, the farmers own the food, and we do not actually track their revenue data, so we can only guess at that kind of thing. I can just tell you this is a rip-roaringly wonderful weather scenario we've got going on until we run out of water, of course. But for right now, this early warm weather is bringing out the produce faster, it's bringing the crowds out faster, and it's a wonderful thing. I hope it continues for opening day for Lebanon as well, but we've been having excellent markets.
Is it going to turn cooler?
Well, it just did today, but that's okay. It's Monday. Who cares?
It's been awesome what the weather's been like.
We got about 20 seconds left. Website address, phone number, contact information you want to share.
For Lebanon Farmers Market, that would be me, Michelle Morford. My number's 541-760-9392, or the website that I mentioned earlier.
The CAFM website is locallygrown.org, and my email is landisr@peak.org, and my phone is 541-740-1542.
And Jan Nielsen would be the contact for Sweet Home, and her number is 541-401-2678.
And don't forget about Honor Flight One Last Mission. Buy tickets at Bircham's Meadows, the Pix Theater, or Lebanon Area Chamber of Commerce. Join us tomorrow for Valley Talk. Enjoy the sunshine.
The Mid-Valley home of Smart Talk. This is News Talk 1580 KGAL, Lebanon, Albany, Corvallis.